Hey there, everybody. So glad to be with you guys today. I'm going to do a quick Facebook Live for you guys just for talking about our upcoming Precious Metals live event this coming weekend, March 12th and 13th. It's called Protect Your Future, and it's actually an education that Tradeway has had uh, in within our list of other educational courses and things like that for a number of years. But this is actually going to be the first time in over 4 years that I'm going to be teaching it live in its entirety. And I absolutely cannot wait to share it with you guys and just to get it started and to share some of the coolest stuff I've ever learned personally, and something I've been very passionate about teaching for the past several years. And so, again, it's going to be huge. It's going to be one of our best virtual events of the year. And I just can't wait for all the engagement that we're going to have, among fellow investors and our Tradeway students. And I just am very, very blessed to be the one to get to host this event and teach you guys this education. So again, cannot wait to do it. What I'm going to do really quick is I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to just kind of get a sneak peek, if you will. Okay, so I want to give you guys a sneak peek of this event, what it looks like, and hey guys, I think I'm back. Hope you guys can hear me. I have no idea what just happened. Apparently, my Google Chrome closed down on me, and not exactly sure what happened there, but thank you guys for sticking around with me. I see we still have a few on live, so very sorry about that. I was trying to share my screen so I can give you guys just a little sneak peek of the event. I think I can get it to work here. Yeah, you guys should be able to see my screen now. So super sorry about that. But as I was saying before I got cut off, super special event coming up, precious metals investing, how to do it the right way. Guys, listen, I don't think this event could come in a more timely manner. Thank you, Tom. Thanks for confirming that for me. Sorry about that. But I don't think this event could be coming in a more timely manner because think about everything that's going on. We've had, a global pandemic hit, hit the entire world this time last year. And then you have, long lasting economic impacts from that, but also specifically within the precious metals industry itself. People started buying up coins and bars really fast, getting as much as they could. So some very strange supply and demand constraints hit the market. Then, not that many weeks ago, I think toward the beginning of February, we had a massive spike in silver due to some of the strange, short squeeze attempts that was happening. The Reddit stuff, GameStop. We've actually had some Facebook Lives talking specifically about all that kind of stuff. We had that happen in the markets. And then you just have this sense of, people wanting to be more prepared for anything because now, more so than ever, possibly, certainly in my lifetime and maybe in the lifetime of many of you guys, we understand that literally anything can happen at any point. Global pandemic, we had strange spikes in certain stocks, but even the silver market just a little over a month ago, we had really strange weather hit the state of Texas, a lot of the southern states that we absolutely are not used to, and it shut a lot of things down. We literally are having to prepare for just about anything these days. And so in that kind of, in that thought, what about, financial security? What about financial insurance? Well, a lot of people consider precious metals to be a type of financial insurance to protect against things like inflation and, gradual inflation over time that accumulates year after year. Each year that we have a certain percentage of inflation, it adds on to the previous year. That's lost purchasing power for your savings account. That's lost purchasing power for the money that you're working hard to bring in, which could be an inheritance for your kids. It could be your retirement, it could be anything. And so a lot of people are thinking about these things and thinking, well, what can I do about it? That's where this event comes into play. So let me give you guys a quick sneak peek of what this event is going to be about and what you're going to be learning over the course of 2 days. So first of all, day one, we're going to be answering the question, why buy precious metals in the first place? A lot of us have this intuitive feeling of, yeah, you know what? One of these days, I feel like I need to be incorporating precious metals into my portfolio or whatever it may be. A lot of us don't even know why we have that feeling. Yet, like I said, in almost 8 years of working in this industry and helping students out and helping investors out across the country, that has been a very common theme. People, know they need to do it, know they want to do it, but don't really know why. So we're going to answer that question on day one. Why buy precious metals? And within that topic, answering that question, we're going to be looking at a few things that are very applicable to that question. A brief history of money. It may sound like, something that, may not be a very active, what's the word I'm looking for here? A very active component within our precious metals investing, but the history of money is actually extremely relevant. It's a very active component within the realm of precious metals investing. And so we have to cover it for that reason. But in looking at the history of money, or at least a brief history in our case during this virtual event, it will also help answer this question of why buy precious metals in the first place. Then we're going to be talking about the dollar. You'll notice the bullet point there, it says an unstable dollar. Well, I don't put that up there to try to, get you guys afraid or thinking like, oh, the dollar's about to collapse, so we need to go buy gold and silver. That's not what that's about at all. In fact, the Tradeway approach to precious metals investing is the exact opposite of the typical fear-induced urgency that a lot of dealers and players in the precious metals industry out there do. We do not take that approach at all. Our approach is totally based on removing the fear, creating a sense of self-reliance, and giving you guys the tools you need to invest in precious metals the right way. So we do talk about the dollar and the concept of how the dollar can be unstable. And what does that mean to us as individuals? So we're going to talk about that. We're going to throw that into the discussion because it certainly is a relevant aspect of things as well. And we're going to be talking about it on day one. It's going to play a part in answering that question, why buy precious metals in the first place? And then protecting your money. So exactly how does precious metals, how could precious metals be the answer to that question? How could precious metals protect your money and play into in that regard? So we're going to throw that in there as well. We're going to talk about specific ways that precious metals can in fact protect your money from things like gradual inflation, things that are happening every single day, not just what could happen in the future. Again, you hear a lot of folks in the industry talking about the collapse of the dollar and how you have to have this alternative currency. So go buy our products now. We're not going to just be talking about what could happen, the hypothetical timelines. We're going to be talking about what is happening day to day so that all of a sudden protecting your money becomes a very active part of your portfolio, not something to be pushing out into the future. You don't want to be kicking the can down the road when you could be literally creating a form of your savings that adjusts for inflation over time. Imagine that. It's actually possible, and we're going to show you guys why. So the next thing we're going to be talking about after we've answered this question of why buy precious metals, we're going to be talking about how to buy precious metals the right way. This includes knowing what is best for you as an individual. Now that's a big one because listen, guys, this industry is full of dealers and sellers of precious metals who, their main goal is to push, maybe that week's or that month's special on you guys, whatever that may be, whichever product they have where they can get the highest premium out of you for the highest commission. That's going to be what they're pushing, regardless of what your personal objectives are. And I'm not just saying that. That is from personal experience after years of calling dozens of different dealers across the country, bringing my personal goals and concerns to the table and having them push things that I knew were not going to accomplish those goals because that's where they were going to get their highest commission. And so listen, one of the biggest reasons why we have to talk about knowing what is best for you is so that you know what to tell these guys when you call them right off the bat. You know, this is what I need. This is what's going to be accomplishing my goals. What are your prices? That sort of thing. So we're going to be talking about how to know what's best for you. After that, we're going to talk about how pricing works. Some of you guys may have gone out there before and, gone to any given website out there, taken a look at different options, and noticed that even though a lot of the coins are the same weight, just for example, 1 ounce, that could be gold or silver, 1 ounce gold coin, 1 ounce silver coin, but there's a bunch of options, right? A bunch of different 1 ounce silver coins or 1 ounce gold coins, yet they're all priced differently. We're going to be talking about how pricing works, why, you're going to see these different, different variations of pricing depending on the product, how supply and demand, comes into play for those, how manufacturing comes into play for those, how the source of the coin, for example, like the US Mint or the Canadian Mint or maybe a private company, how those things come into play for the pricing of those things, so that once again, you guys can determine what's best for you, what's going to best meet your budget or fit your budget and accomplish your goals. So we're going to talk about knowing how pricing works. And then we're going to talk about knowing what to buy when the time is right. So how do you factor in the many options that are out there, the different pricing that comes along with all of them, and knowing which one is best for you when the time is right to buy. We're going to be covering all of that in this virtual event, how to buy precious metals. The next thing we're going to talk about is when to buy the precious metals. Okay, so now we've answered why do it in the first place. Then we're going to answer and talk about how to do it the right way, how to do it properly, how to get the most metal for your dollar. Then we're going to be talking about when to buy precious metals. In other words, when to hit the buy button so that you are getting the most metal for your dollar. Within that, we're going to be sharing 3 Mitchell family strategies, 3 specific strategies that my family's done for the past 3 generations that have helped us in these areas, helped us, know when to buy metals and how long to hold them and all that good stuff. So we're going to be sharing 3 specific Mitchell family strategies. We're going to be talking about how to use charting for your benefit. Now, let me ask you guys a question. Some of you out there watching this broadcast or maybe watching the recording of it later, maybe you've purchased some coins in the past, some silver, gold, coins or bars. Let me ask you this, though. How many of you have ever used charting to determine when to buy those coins or bars? Now, if you guys are familiar with Tradeway, you guys know we use charting all the time for stocks and options trading, but maybe it's a new idea to you to factor in charting for going and buying coins and bars. You might think, well, that's kind of weird. I thought it was just a matter of, going and making an online purchase for a product, a physical coin or bar, whatever it may be. Well, that is kind of how it works. The buying process is unique in that it's not like going and buying a stock or an option or anything like that, but you can still use charting to determine when when to buy, when to press that buy button, when it's best for you guys. And so listen, we're going to show you guys how, even though precious metals do tend to be more of a long-term investment, how to use short-term charting or short-term buy points to once again turn around and get more metal for your dollar. And then finally, we're going to talk about how premiums work. What is premium? You guys may be familiar with the term spot price. And again, anything you're not familiar with, guess what? We're going to break it down in detail on this virtual event. But there's a term called spot price. And that's basically, just in very, very simple terms, the main price of gold or silver. You can Google what's the spot price of gold right now, and it'll tell you. Well, when you're buying coins and bars, there's one other factor that comes in on the price that you pay, and that is the premium. And the premium is the amount that you pay above the spot price. Okay, so maybe the spot price is around $1,745 for gold, and then you want to go buy a 1 ounce gold coin, but it may have a 5 or 6% premium tacked on top of that as well. So you're not going to be paying the spot price. You're going to be paying the spot price plus the premium for that coin. And that's just the way it works, because these are finished goods. These are finished products that are manufactured and put on the shelves for us as consumers to buy. And so we're going to talk about how premiums work and how to factor that into your investment decisions, because it can play a big part in it from time to time. And so keep that in mind. We're going to be talking about that in detail. And then finally, we're going to be talking about where to buy precious metals. So again, I kind of alluded to this a minute ago. There are hundreds of options out there where you can go and you can purchase gold or silver, platinum or palladium, coins, bars, rounds, whatever it may be. However, I say this pretty often, but it's always worth repeating. The precious metals industry is known as like the Wild West of the financial sector because it's hardly regulated. There are very few, very minor regulations throughout this industry, which means that just about anything goes. And so a lot of dealers out there can use marketing tactics, sales tactics to push certain things that may not be best for you in order to get the highest commission or the highest premium, whatever it may be. And so because there are so many options out there, we're going to talk about how to find reputable sources, how to make sure you're getting a fair price, whether you're buying or you're selling. So we're going to be talking about common sales tactics that you will discover as a buyer, as a consumer out there when you're shopping around all these dealers. And again, this is all based on personal experience for me, as well as things that I've learned just about the industry in general over the past 7 or 8 years. After that, we're going to be talking about how to get the most metal for your dollar. So again, we're going to be factoring in some of these things like pricing, but also charting, and also the source itself. In other words, the dealer that you're buying from, to make sure you are getting the most metal for your dollar. And then finally, how to find reputable resources. So guys, again, that's just a little sneak peek of what this event is going to be all about. It's 2 full days of discussion, of learning, and it's going to be very engaging. And some of the stuff you guys, or I should say all the stuff you guys will be learning will be very applicable to your individual metals investing. And it's going to play a huge part in everything that you do moving forward when it comes to buying gold or silver, whether you've never done it before or whether you've been buying gold and silver for years. There's going to be something to learn for everybody. And I cannot wait to be there and show you guys. So again, this is a live virtual event. It's going to be March 12th and 13th. That's this weekend. And excuse me, guys. I pulled up the wrong thing here. Here, I'm actually going to end my screen share because I don't need that anymore. Rather, I'm going to send you guys a link. I'm going to post it in the comments here. And this link that I just put in the comments is how you can get registered for this event. Not only that, you guys can click on and actually learn more about it. So if you guys are joining the broadcast live, or live but a little bit late, maybe you missed some of our discussion over the past few minutes, you can click on that link. There's some videos in there, as well as bullet points and breaking down the whole event. So click that link to learn more about it. But you can also use that link to get registered for the event itself. So I can't wait for it. You guys, if you have any questions, feel free to go throw them in the comments really quick, and I'd be more than happy to cover those for you guys. But listen, what I am most excited about is sharing some of the things that, again, I've spent the last several years, learning myself, but also, what some of the things that make it particularly impactful for me is how to factor those things into your other types of trading or investing. So a lot of you guys watching, you may be familiar with our short-term trading education, stocks and options. You guys, by the end of this precious metals event, you will also know how to incorporate these things into, again, other types of investing, whether that be short-term trading or even your more conventional long-term investing as well. We're going to be breaking all of it down. And so, again, I can't wait to share how all of these things go together. And there it is right there. There's the date, March 12th and 13th. I was trying to get this back on my screen. Finally got it there. And so click the link in the comments right now, and you guys can get all your questions answered based on, as far as what is the event going to be about? How is it going to be? What are we going to learn? How are we going to break these things down? And I think there's a video in there as well where I'm breaking some of the stuff down for you. And so first time in over 4 years, it's going to be taught in its entirety live. So be there, guys, so that you can ask your own questions. You can engage with your fellow Tradeway students and, learn everything that you need to. Every kind of question that you've ever needed to have answered, regarding precious metals investing, especially if you guys are brand new and have never done it before. They're all going to be answered during this live event. Again, if you guys have some experience investing in gold and silver in the past, there's going to be something to learn for everybody during this event. So I cannot wait for it, and really, really looking forward to being on that event live with you guys. And for those of you watching this broadcast later, maybe you weren't able to join us live, but you still have questions, feel free to go ahead and put them in the comments, because we can always hop on later and answer your questions through the comments as well. So please feel free to like and share this video, tag friends or family that you feel have been interested in precious metals for a while, but just needed a place to start. This event is going to be what they need, or what you need, depending on, where you're at in life, and how much you're wanting to incorporate. If you've even considered precious metals investing at any point in life, you're going to want to join this event and learn about it before you take that next step, so that you can do it the right way, ensure that you're getting the most metal for your dollar, and so that you have support in place to get all the help that you need moving forward. So can't wait for it, guys. That's it. That's all I have for you today. Again, that was just a quick sneak peek of what is to come, what you're going to be learning at this event. Click the link in your comments to get registered for it, and also to learn more about the event itself. And really can't wait to be with you guys. Really looking forward to it, and hope you guys have a good one. Feel free to comment if you have any questions, even after the fact, and we will be there to answer your questions. Have a great one, and I will see you guys on March 12th and 13th. Really looking forward to it. Hope to see you there.